It seems here at CPAC 2021, you cannot have enough faith and liberty in the building, and my next guest does just that. Dave Brat, Liberty University, based out of Lynchburg, Virginia, and of course you here at CPAC 2021, spreading the gospel and spreading the good news of Liberty University.
No, we love it. I think the whole country is starting to look our way. A lot of the other universities have gone woke and rejection of the faith, rejection of even truth or rationality. And at Liberty, we're just holding to the foundational truths that made the country great. And our students are just phenomenal. So thanks for calling us out, man. That's great.
Yeah, right before we came on, we had a brief conversation about Liberty University. And I traveled to your campus last year for the first time. And I was completely blown away of just how beautiful your campus is. I mean, your sports facility looks like an Olympic training facility, if anything. And by the way, you have a ski slope.
Yeah.
Are you the only university in the country that actually has an in-house ski slope?
I think we're the only one. We got a huge equestrian thing. Now we got Olympic skeet shooting, rifle range, gun ranges with chalets up there, ski chalet and the gun chalet.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. But let's talk about the curriculum and how important right now the Judeo-Christian values that are incorporated. We hear so many people talk about how you spend your entire life trying to raise a kid, right? Yeah. You instill values in them. They go off to college, and when they first come back for that Thanksgiving break, they are woke. They don't know what gender they identify with. They completely hate this country. Yeah. Matter of fact, they don't even eat turkey anymore because they're vegan. You know, killing animals is bad. Yeah. So right now, Liberty University, I think, is at the pinnacle. Yeah. I think you're just beginning. You're more needed than ever.
It's coming. The rest of the country. I went to seminary 30 years ago. And I've been around, higher ed institutions all over, and everyone else. You follow the philosophy department 30 years ago, and the new fad in higher ed is deconstruction, for real, right? So the Western tradition in philosophy and theology, et cetera, is basically Athens and Jerusalem, right? It's Greek reason, and then the Judeo-Christian tradition, and those are the guardrails for our civilization, and we've set up a tradition that's free and open and tolerant to all faiths and to non-belief, right? Our Constitution is a document that enshrines that. But the left now, they're not liberals anymore. They ain't John F. K. liberals, right?
That's a good point.
They've made a move away, and they're on the attack, and they're just straight out of the Marxist playbook. And if you go, you read any news story today, and the folks out there, this may be helpful, but if you read it through the Marxist prism, everything the left's doing is to accumulate power. So they'll act like they'll talk about education or something, and they'll act like they care about your kids, but you'll notice nothing ever goes right for your kids. And then they'll talk about the minimum wage or the poor or whatever, but it's all right in the coronavirus package for $1.9 trillion. There's a carve out we noticed yesterday that goes only to federal workers who have kids in school. And the kid doesn't even have to be in school. And they're getting up to $20,000 per person if you're a federal worker, right? So why would you do that? Because they all vote the right way. Yeah, so it's just a payback.
It's just a payback.
Yeah.
So what's your takeaway so far from CPAC this year? I know Ted Cruz spoke earlier. Yeah. Energized the crowd. Dan Bongino closed it out on Friday as well. Yep. What's your takeaway so far?
There just seems to be way more unity than the mainstream press wants to let you know about, right? Most of the folks are, there's almost unanimity on kind of the America First program. And you can always tell we got some contest for governor in Virginia going on right now. And what's absent from the establishment folks, right? It's always a couple issues. It's about three. Immigration, number one, they won't get near it. Whereas the average American is like, what? Open border and the Biden bill. I can't, go to Numbers USA and you can look up the immigration issue. But when they say there's no enforcement now, and that's what they're saying, there's no enforcement. I mean, anyone comes in, no one, criminal background, doesn't matter.
It's definitely on the minds of California. We were just there, so they're thinking about it.
It's huge, right? And I hope it starts turning some of the suburbs, right? Because it's going to affect them. Right. And then the second issue is China, which is obvious just a money play, right? The average American is getting hurt. The competition, the wage rates are going down. Correct. But the big guys, Biden just opened up the electrical grid so that China can provide technology and transformers for our electrical grid, which is a national security issue, right? So you're like, what? And then the third issue is the elections. You've been traveling around Michigan, Pennsylvania. You don't need to go off the rails on the thing, but any candidate should be able to explain what happened in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, et cetera.
All right, so Liberty University, so if you have a young person that's about to graduate from high school and they're not quite sure where they want to go and you want to keep them on the right track, definitely check out these guys at Liberty University because they are doing it right. They're instilling family, Judeo-Christians in our kids, and they're getting a quality education.
No, that's right.
They go out in the real world and make a living.
Yeah, and the faculty are just phenomenal. They love the kids. They integrate the faith into every lecture. It's just not a passing thought. It's what we do every day.
And I would be willing to bet right now that you do not have a major of underwater basket weaving. There's none of that.
Not at Liberty. None of it. Right. None of it. That's right.
Dave Brat, thank you so much for joining
God
us.
Bless, brother. Thank you.
I'm going to venture down to your booth as well and talk to all those guys.
No, come on down. We'll interview you. Good.
I love it, man.
Good. Thanks, everybody.